Saint Francis of Assisi, the rich young rebel who gave it all up for something greater. He had wealth, popularity, and privilege. He was the life of the party, the favorite son, the young man everyone expected to succeed. And then one day, Saint Francis of Assisi walked away from all of it. Not because he was weak, but because he had seen something deeper. He had encountered the love of God, and he couldn't live the same way anymore. If you're a young person trying to find real meaning in a world obsessed with money, image, and status, Francis shows you another way: freedom through surrender, joy through simplicity, greatness through humility. Who was Saint Francis of Assisi? Born in Italy in 1181 to a wealthy merchant family, Francis grew up spoiled and carefree. He loved clothes, parties, and adventure. He dreamed of becoming a knight, a hero in battle. But after a serious illness and time spent as a prisoner of war, Francis began to question everything. Why was he chasing fame? Why did wealth leave him empty? Why was there so much suffering, and what was he to do about it? One day, while praying in a crumbled church, Francis heard God speak to his heart: "Rebuild my church." He took it literally at first, fixing broken buildings. But over time, he realized the call was deeper: to rebuild faith, hope, and love in a broken world. So he gave up his inheritance. He gave away everything. He embraced poverty, not as punishment, but as a path to peace. And people followed him. His joy was contagious. His love was real. His life became a movement. He founded the Franciscan order, cared for the poor, preached the gospel with fire, and even crossed enemy lines to speak with Muslim leaders during the Crusades. He lived like Jesus, with nothing but everything. What can you learn from Saint Francis? Francis didn't just walk away from riches, he ran toward purpose. He shows that real freedom comes when you stop trying to be impressive and start trying to be holy. Here's how his life speaks to yours. 1. Let go of what doesn't fulfill you. Francis had everything the world promises will make you happy, and none of it satisfied him. He said, "Remember that when you leave this earth, you can take with you nothing that you have received, only what you have given." Let that sink in. The clothes, the followers, the awards, they fade. But what you give, what you sacrifice, and how you love, that lasts forever. If your soul feels tired, maybe it's time to let go of what doesn't feed it. 2. Live simply, love radically. Francis didn't own much. He begged for food. He slept outdoors, but he radiated joy. He didn't see creation as random. He saw it as sacred. He called the sun his brother, the moon his sister. He cared for animals, the environment, and the forgotten, because he saw God in all of them. He said, "Preach the gospel at all times. When necessary, use words." In other words, your life should speak louder than your mouth. Be kind, be generous, be real. Let your light shine, not through perfection, but through humility. 3. Answer God's call, even if no one understands. When Francis gave up his wealth, people mocked him. Even his own father disowned him. But Francis didn't care. He had heard God's voice. He wasn't chasing approval, he was chasing obedience. That's what courage looks like. When you feel called to something, whether it's ministry, art, service, or a path no one understands, go. Don't live someone else's dream. Follow the one who made you. 4. Be a rebuilder in a broken world. Francis heard the call: rebuild my church. The church in his day was full of corruption and comfort. He didn't attack it, he reformed it by living differently. He reminded people of Jesus just being by himself, and you can too. Our world needs young people who don't just criticize, but build, who don't just consume, but serve. who don't just talk about love, but live it. Why this matters today. We live in a culture that chases more. More likes, more stuff, more status. But St. Francis reminds us that less is often more. Less ego equals more joy. Less noise equals more peace. Less selfishness equals more impact. You don't need to be rich to be joyful. You don't need to be famous to be free. You just need to be willing to say yes to God and no to the world's lies. So be different, be bold, be small in the world's eyes, so you can be great in the eyes of heaven. Be like St. Francis.